B'nei Hashem v'yara mikol asher lefanav. So Omri became the king of Israel, and he did what's bad in the eyes of Hashem. It did worse than everyone before him. A lot of bazar, a lot of bad things. Ve'elech b'chol derech Yeravam ben Nabat v'chataso v'shechti et Yisrael lakis et Hashem Elokei Yisrael v'havlehem. He went in the ways of Yeravam. He did the wrong thing, and he brought Yisrael to do the wrong thing also. He was chata v'hechti, considered a very major bad thing. It's hard to do tshuva when you cause other sins as well. So that's what's happening with these kings. V'yatr divrei Amri asher asa V'vorto asher asa halohem ketuvim al Sefer divrei Yamim l'malch Yisrael. So the rest of what Amri did is written in Divrei Yamim. V'yishkav Amri im avotav v'kaver b'shomron v'yimloch Achav b'no taktav. So Achav was the son of Amri. Amri had brought us to new lows, and now Achav is going to go even lower. V'Achav ben Amri malach al Yisrael b'shnat shloshim u'shmon shana la'asa melech Yehuda yimloch Achav ben Amri al Yisrael b'shomron esrim mishtam shana. Okay, so now it's Achav, the son of Amri. V'yas Achav ben Amri hara b'nei Hashem v'kol asher lefanav. He did worse than anyone before. V'hi hanakel lechto b'chatot Yeravam ben Nabat v'kach isha et Izevel bat et Baal melech Sidonim v'elech v'yavod et Baal v'yishtachu lo. Okay, so then what does he do? Yeravam, he marries a non-Jewish avodah zarah Nick, Izevel, and he starts serving the Baal, which came from her. So now things got worse. Now they're really serving avodah zarah big time, full scale. V'yakem mizbeach lebal, beit habal asher bana b'shomron. They built a mizbeach to this avodah zarah called the Baal. V'yas Achav et Asherah, Yosef Achav lasot lakis et Hashem Elokei Yisrael mikol malch Yisrael asher hayu lefanav. And he also did Asherah according to the mob. That wasn't as bad. That's what the Jews were doing. But then they brought in this worst thing of the Baal, but as well that was really bad. Okay, I'm going to skip the details. Okay, now we're starting the process of the story of Eliyahu. Yamav. So in the days of Achav, Bana Chiel Beit Ha'eli et Yericho Ba'aviram B'choro Yista Ubiskov Tziro Hitziv Dalateha Kidvar Hashem Asher Diber Biyad Yoshua ben Nun. So what happened? So in the days of Achav, this person named Chiel, he went and he built up Yericho. Now, as we know from Sefer Yeshua made a curse on Yericho that no one should build it. And he said, whoever builds it, with his first, he'll lay the cornerstone, his first son will die. When he completes it, his last son will die.
Yericho was cursed?
Yericho was cursed by Yeshua. How do we have Yericho built now? We were there before Jews were there. The Arabs are now. How is it built? Answer is, what I've heard is, that's not Yericho. What we call Yericho is next to Yericho, and Yericho itself is not built. Okay, so Yeshua wanted to be, it was destroyed as we came into Eretz Yisrael, and there was a Nisim, and it was totally destroyed and devastated by Yeshua and his army. He made a curse and that they shouldn't rebuild it. Why exactly would that would have to be the eye in there?
It's in Judah or it's in
It's in Binyamin. It's as you come right across the Yarden. You come across the Yarden there, you hit Yericho first. That's Binyamin. So Chiel went and did it. He did exactly what Yeshua said not to do. And he built Yericho. And what happened is his first son was named Aviram. He died when he founded it. And then with his last son, he put up the walls, and his last son died. So exactly like Yeshua ben Nun predicted was going to happen, that's what happened. Okay, so now it's an interesting thing. What is this doing here? This story, how does it fit in with the flow of the Tanakh? Answer is because Achav had created an atmosphere where there was so much about Azora and the level of Amunah had gone so low. Now people didn't believe in the words of the tzaddik. They didn't believe in anything anymore. It was down to our lowest level. Till now they were doing about Azora, but they were also like they had Amunah. They had this Yitzhahar for it was Azora, but they had Amunah Klali. Kept getting lower and lower. But now with Achav, now it was real about Azora, the shame about Azora. Also not like before, when they were doing about Azora like with the Egli Hazahav. It was just sort of as a symbol. They were serving Hashem. Now they brought in the Mamish, the foreign culture all the way, and they were serving about Azora Mamish. So things were at their worst. So now they didn't believe in anything. It was like I don't want to say, it was like France and New York. You know what I mean? Like nothing. Okay, so that's what happened. So then, Yomi Eliyahu Atishbi, Mitoshavei Gilad, Elachav. So then Eliyahu Tishbi from Gilad, Goz of Gilad, said to Achav, Chai Hashem, Elokei Yisrael, Asher Amadati Lefanav, B'miyah Hashani Me'ela Tal Amatar, Kim Lefi Devari. So he said, he said like this. So Eliyahu Tishbi. So again, I'm going to explain to you the Chazal here that the sages say. But it seems out of nowhere, Eliyahu Tishbi is coming to Achav, and he makes a shvuah, and he says, the truth is, as I stand before Hashem, there will not be any rain in these years, except if I say so. So that's Eliyahu saying. So what's the pshat that Eliyahu would come and say this? What is he saying this for to Achav at this point? Because what happens is that so the Chazal say a whole story. They say they came to the house of Avelit of Chiel. Chiel lost all of his sons. They both came to visit Chiel and give him Menachem the Avel. And they were talking, and they said, so Eliyahu was saying this happened because of the curse of Yeshua, curse of the tzaddik. And Achav was saying, no, that's not true. It was just an accident. And everything's nature. There is no curse of tzaddik. There is no blessing of a tzaddik. There's nothing like that. It is not true. Things happen. Things look like they look like they're a miracle, but there's no miracles. That was the debate. So then Eliyahu said to him back, he says, no, it was a miracle. So then Achav said back, what do you mean? Why would there be miracles for Yeshua? There wouldn't be miracles for Moshe, for the Rebbe. So Eliyahu says back, what do you mean? He says, well, it says in the Torah that if people serve idols and they don't serve Hashem, there won't be rain. And you see, everything's good. We have blessings and bracha, and everything's good. So Eliyahu said, you know what? There's going to be no rain, and because of me. Because Hashem does this to the tzaddik, and now he's going to listen to me because I'm going to tell there's not going to be rain until I say so. That's the story. So that's the Chazal explaining the context here, that he's bringing back Amunas Tzadikim, which was God brought down. It's interesting compared to our times also. Like, the Amunas Tzadikim is going up, it went so down low, before starting earlier generations, it's coming back up and back up. Amunah Tzadikim is one of the most foundations of all Amunah. It's one of the 5 types of Amunah listed in the Son of Rabbi Sefer. 5 types of Amunah. What are the 5 types of Amunah? Amunah b'Hashem, Amunah b'Torah, Amunah b'Tzadikim. I think I skipped one. Amunah b'Hashem, that Hashem exists. Amunah b'Hashgacha, that Hashem guides the world. Amunah b'Torah, Amunah b'Tzadikim, and the Amunah, every person has to have it himself. That's the 5 types of Amunah, according to Stam and Rabbi. So, but in the middle is Amunah b'Tzadikim. We have to believe that Tzadikim have, they're not the same as us. They have more influence. They have more wisdom. And it's very, very important to understand that. In times of democracy, it becomes like degraded, starting with French Revolution, like it's gotten harder to understand things like that. Okay, let's go further. So Eliyahu is going to show it. He says it's not true. But the tzaddik is gozer, that's what happens, and I'm going to show you that because I'm going to be gozer, there will be no rain until I say so. V'divar Hashem elav lemor. Then Hashem spoke to him saying, Lech mizeh upanita lecha kedma. Nistar to benachal karit asher panei hayarden. He says, go from here. Shem said to Eliyahu, go away from here and go to the place where you will hide on the Nachal Karit, which is on the on the banks of the Yarden. So he told him to go on the border of Israel, onto the Yarden. V'yahai mechanamal tishteh, v'haya min hanachal tishteh, v'te'orvim tziviti l'chalkolecha sham, and you will drink from the river, and I will command the ravens to bring you food. V'yelech v'yas kedvar Hashem, v'yelech v'yeshev b'nachal karit, asher al pnei hayarden. So he did like Hashem said. He went to Nachal Karit, which was next to the Yarden. V'orvim meviim lo lechem ubasar boker, v'lechem ubasar be'erev, min hanachal yishteh. So these ravens brought him meat and bread in the evening and in the morning, and he drank from the river. Yeah. Okay. So stopping there. So first I'm going to tell you some. So he brings the story I just told you, the Malbim. So let me read you the Malbim here. Let's look at this Malbim together. The Malbim talks about. So what's the one question is like, why did Hashem send Eliyahu to the river over there and send him food in this unusual way?
He's hiding.
He's hiding, right? So why is he hiding? From Achav, right? And from Izebel. Okay, that's true. But he wasn't sort of like Moshe Rabbeinu, he could walk around and be protected. Probably, okay, you'll say not. You have to still live with nature even when there's miracles happening, which the rain stopped miraculously. Okay, you can say that also. The Mom says more also. Okay, so let's see what happens here. It says the story what I just told you. So the story is an illustration of for sure what's going on, whether it's literal Kabbalah because the sages had this is exactly what happened, or whether it's obviously what happened more or less, whether Achav was going against nature, going against Nisim, and bringing in the world of Kfira, and Eliyahu was disproving that's for sure what happened. Anyway, so that's because I'll give the background to this story. Okay, now look at this. You see where it says like about 10 lines down? No, wait. No, let me go back. I'll start from the beginning. Okay, Ein Safek. Is there another one? Okay, look on with me. We're learning Malbim now. Okay. Yomi Eliyahu Tishbi. Ein Safek Yamasa Zeh Asaroshim Gadol Kol Ha'am Shamu V'Yeru Ba'achav Hitametz Takish Zot V'Lutot B'Mikra. So he says it's without question that this story of how Hiel built Yericho and was punished just like Yeshua promised made a big influence on the nation. They saw exactly what Yeshua predicted happened. It's written down in Sefer Yeshua, so everyone knew about this. So now everybody was weakened down, everyone was losing their Emunah. The Emunah had gone to the lowest level because of Achav and the Avodah Zarah. So now what happens is a miracle happens in front of everyone that the words of the tzaddik are mitkayem. So that made a big influence on the nation. The King Amar Chazal, She'achav Amar Le'yo, Efshek Shekil at Rav L'Mekayma, the kill at Talmud L'Kayma, could be that the curse of the Rav wasn't fulfilled and the curse of the student was fulfilled. And to say, Tuchachim Mo, She'echav Shar Shloted Kayim Kill at Moshe. Shar Penny of Teleb Avchem, V'Sartem Avchem Elohim Achrim, V'Atzar Seshmayim, V'Lu Matar. To Kayim Kill at Yeshua. So in other words, Achav was what's the word for it? Someone who knows how to professionally convince and debate. So Achav said to him, so okay, you think this is a miracle? That Yeshua's Gezer happened here? So then how come Moshe didn't? Because if so, we're doing a Avodah Zarah, we're not, they're not serving Hashem, there should be no rain. Right? So he said, you see, it's not miracles. Because it was, Moshe's would for sure be miskayim, and it's not. So, Ulam, the student of Moshe is Yeshua. And Yeshua's promise happened, but Moshe didn't, according to Achav. To show you that it's all nature. It's not true. Okay? Now, so the question is, So then Eliyahu gets up and says, okay, guess what? What the tzaddik says is what happens, and I'm going to prove you because I'm going to now stop the rain. Until I say there's not going to be no rain. But the Album asked the question, so why was it like that? Why is it that until Eliyahu did that, there was no rain? I mean, there was rain, Why was there rain? What's the answer to Achav's kasha? Okay?
Because there wasn't a real Avodah Zarah until...
There was Avodah Zarah.
Until this point.
Now there was the land was filled with Avodah Zarah, and still there was rain and there was shefa, and things were going well. And all of a sudden, the story of Chil happened to show, the tzaddik says something, it happens. So comes Achav and says, it's just a mikra. If there was really things worked like that, then there would be no rain either, because the Torah said there's no rain when we go away from Hashem, we serve Avodah Zarah. What are you saying?
I was thinking, because it's unclear to me whether the drought comes to the kingdom of Israel or to the whole land. So maybe I was thinking for the benefit of Yehuda, which maybe had some merit, the whole land was spared from drought or something.
Okay, that's an interesting idea.
Maybe.
I don't think that Yehuda is doing so great either. Yeah. And it doesn't say that also, so I don't know. It's a very interesting idea, though. Listen to what Malbim says. Malbim starts going deep. Ulam tshuva lezeh. So the answer is like this: what's the tshuva to Achav's kasha? So why is there rain if the Torah says there's no rain when there's Avodah Zarah? You see it? It's 7 lines down. Tshuva lezeh. Ki onche Torah heimrak be'et Yisrael tachat hashgacha elokit. The punishments of the Torah only happen when the Jewish nation is under the divine providence, the system of hashgacha elokit. Then the rain comes specifically with the divine providence. We're saying when we do the mitzvahs, there will be rain. When we do averos, there won't be rain. That's when we're within the system. If you do my mitzvahs, there will be rain. Then when they stop doing the mitzvot, and they go away from Hashem, then the divine providence will go away, and they'll be under limitar hashkachi. There won't be the rain coming out with the divine providence. So he says like this. He says after they were so bad, and they were serving Avodah Zarah so much, they became like non-Jewish nations, where you don't have this special divine providence on us. So therefore, they could be going away from the Torah, doing Avodah Zarah, and the rain will still fall, just like in other lands, where the ways of nature are separate from the ways of ethics. They're not intimately connected. Va'aretz nimsara b'mei Achav el teva maracha. In the times of Achav, the land became given over to the world of Teva. We could be tzaddikim and there would be no rain, or we could be Rishoyim and there would be rain, because the Teva works independently, has its own system. And that happens when Yisrael are so far away from Hashem that we're out of the system. By the way, the Baal Tanya says that one of the things Gemara says when a person does a Isser of Koret, certain types of very strong Yisurim, intentionally, what happens is he doesn't live past 60. And the Baal Tanya asks the question, you see many people doing those kind of affairs and are living past 60. So he says the same answer as his. He says because they don't have hashgacha pratit so much. They're too low. They're in the world of nature. Very interesting, right? Keep going further. V'lo yichuyav shifasek hamatar tevi ba'abdam ilulin. Now, when they're out of this system of hashgacha elokit, then it's not going to necessarily happen that because there's no rain, that there won't be rain when they don't serve Avodah Zarah. Ki teva taseh kimin hagah. The Teva, nature will go as in its own system. It won't be connected to what the people do. Because only when there's hashgacha, then nature reflects human choices, but not by the Teva. The Teva is independent of human choices, human morality. And that's only for Onshe Torah. That's when the rain will go away, because that's the divine providence. But when people are too low and they're they're just in the world of nature, and then there could be rain even though they're not doing good. Ulam kill it Yeshua, because you kill Madato. However, even in this time when the Jews were not receiving divine providence and there was rain, even though they were in a low level, that doesn't apply to the tzaddik. So Yeshua, who made a klala, that's going to happen even in the time when Hashem is hiding his face and not working with us with divine providence. The tzaddik is above that system also. He's in the system even when everyone else is out of it. Let's put it that way. Of hashgacha pratit. Halo kavod Yeshua v'dibur of gezerato mikusheret im hashgacha elokit. The covenant of Yeshua and his words and his decrees, they're connected to the divine providence. Hashem yashgiach al kavod tzedikav l'kayim gezeratam. Hashem watches over the tzeddikim to fulfill their decrees. Hagam shesar hashgacha min adorahu harashaim lo sarim Yeshua tatzadik umzerato fudo. So even though the divine providence was removed from that low generation, that evil generation, therefore they weren't seeing the connection between their deeds and the acts of nature. From Yeshua, the tzaddik, it doesn't change. Therefore, the klala of Yeshua was fulfilled. And Eliyahu came and clarified that that's how it works with a miracle. That the gezerah of the tzaddik will also work now, not only Yeshua. If Eliyahu will make a decree, that will also happen, even in this time when the hashgacha for the nation is not there. That's because the hashgacha is connected to the tzaddik to do what he wants. His words. Hashem lives, who I stood before him. It's not because of a punishment. There won't be rain. Because you're not fitting to have a punishment from Hashem. You're out of the system. You're in the hands of nature. And you're not getting a divine punishment because Hashem punishes the nation when they're close enough to him to be in that relationship. But when they're not, so then that's not how it works. Then they're back in the world of Teva and they're not seeing the connection. But by the tzaddik, it is going to happen. So in other words, so the lack of rain is not going to be because of onish, it's because of meat. I'm going to say no rain. I'm going to show you that the tzaddik can still. Okay, so that shows the flow here to the mob. It's very, very interesting. Right, so you guys hear this? Acha was saying there's no hashgacha. Everything is nature. The whole Am had gone down to that level where they weren't, where the Muna was very low. It wasn't just Avodah Zorah. They actually left their Muna altogether. Before that, it was a Yetzirah of Avodah Zorah, and they saw the Muna. Now it was no more Muna and just nature. So then comes the story of Chiel, and you see that there is divine intervention in the world. It's not just nature. So Akhab comes and says, and all the professors, and all the media, all the politicians are going to say, no, I'll explain it like this, and it's just also nature. So then, I said, no, it's a miracle. So Akhab says back, what do you mean? So how come there's rain? The Torah says there won't be rain when we don't do His will. So on that, so then Eliyahu says, okay, I'm going to make this in the rain. So what does he mean by that? What does he say? He's saying like this, the Malbim explained it. He's saying, oh, you're right, the Torah says when you don't do His will, there's no rain. That's only when the Am is connected to Hashem. When they're so low, then you lose that merit of that direct interaction. And therefore there's rain, even though there's Ma'aser Rishayim here. But the tzaddik, his gezerah still works. And that's why Yeshua's gezerah worked. That's why my gezerah is also going to work. So in a way, he's bringing back the Am. They don't believe in Hashem anymore. I'm going to show you, first of all, there's something like a tzaddik. So through the tzaddik, you're going to start believing in Hashem again. If you start connecting to the tzaddik, that's the way to get back into believing in Hashem too. That's why we sit in yeshiva and we learn day and night, because we're connecting to tzaddikim. They're bringing us close to Hashem, the words of tzaddikim, yes.
It could also be the reason why there was still rain in the northern kingdom of Israel, because the kalal, the curse from Moshe.
From Moshe Rabbeinu.
Yeah, not from Moshe, but it was
From Hashem,
for all the tribes,
Oh.
right? And Yehuda, they're still serving Hashem properly in the Bet Mikdash.
That's what Aidan said also.
Maybe that prevents or includes also schut for the northern kingdom somehow.
Okay, I hear the idea. You heard this somewhere?
No, just
Aidan said the same thing. It's interesting. It's an interesting idea. Okay, I hear. I'm not sure. I mean, I had two claims against that shot. One is that I think that Yehuda was also bad at this point. I'm not sure if they
didn't worship other gods.
They didn't?
Or on the heights.
Oh, they didn't at this time. Okay, I'm not sure what happens. They did before.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the time of Rothman they did, and afterwards. So I think they were also. And Omri was terrible. No, but Omri was.
But he's already in charge.
No, Omri's Israel though. They're talking about Yehuda. Okay, so that's a good question.
Because Asa started good, but you said he went bad.
Asa went bad, yeah.
But it says he was good because he demolished a lot of.
Yeah, about Azor.
So there must have been.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay, so I'm not sure. It's an idea. I hear what you're saying. But another problem with what you guys are saying is that it doesn't explain the flow here. So how is Eliyahu responding by making a nace himself and saying, I'm going to determine when the rain falls? What is he doing that for?
To remind people that there is Ashkaha. They forgot all about Ashkaha, they forgot about Emunah.
Okay, but okay.
And then seeing is believing, you need to witness something.
That's a simple shot, what you're saying. Okay, I hear that also. But like this, it goes deeper because they didn't believe in anything. And all of a sudden the thing of Chil comes and shows that there is Ashkaha. So then what? So then they're going to be denying that. So then Eliyahu is going to say, no, you see, there's a shkaka for a tzaddik, even when there's no shkaka for the nation. So it just flows very nice. Okay, I hear. That's the Malachim's shot. Okay, so that's good board. So then what happens is, so he tells him go away and go to the river and stay by the river, and I'll bring over. You'll drink from the river, and the ravens will come and give you sustenance. They'll bring you bread and meat. So the Malachim goes further, and he says like this. That what happens is now the Jewish nation is in the world of nature. The Malachim has a whole theory how this works over here. Like Eliyahu is knows how the inner workings of the world work, which you see obviously does. And so how does it work? So the Jewish nation now is in the world of nature. So if you have nature and you have water, the water evaporates, and there's rain. And that would happen. That should happen. Except Eliyahu says there won't be any rain. So how is Eliyahu going to make that happen? So he's going to go, and he says he went to the border, and he's standing there, and he's somehow, by being on the border of Am Yisrael, of Eretz Yisrael, he's keeping out the world of nature. I don't know, something like that. He's making it that.
We've lost Gilad and Bashan already. It's the border, the Jordans. We've lost every other day.
I'm not sure. That's what Malachim says. So maybe the Ikar Yisrael, I don't know. In any case, so somehow he's doing these things to make this happen. And meanwhile, because he took on himself, he brought down this thing that there won't be any more rain. So that applies to him also. He's in the process, he's the channel for this new system. There's going to be no more rain. Therefore, Hashem brings him only sustenance from things that exist already. From the river and the meat that's existing. They're going to bring him from the house of Achav. That's the story from the Gemara, is that Ovadia was the cook. He was sending kosher meat, and he was getting the bread, this and that. So that's the way the Malachim says it. I'm going a little fast here. Okay, let's go further. It was after many days the river dried up. So because now there's no more rain coming, and that's the system. He was only living off things that existed already because that's what everyone else too. The Shefa coming down stopped because of Eliyahu's effort. The word of Hashem came to say, Kum lech tzarfata.
France.
Yeah. Oh, it's not France. I was thinking something else. One second. See, also according to you guys, there was no reason for her to make it's up to me. It should have been like, okay, you guys are bad, and therefore you're getting rain. Now you're not going to get rain, to show that everything's from Hashem. That's not what he did. He said, you're so bad. He says, explaining, you're so bad that the system, you're out of the system. That's why you're getting rain. So that's that. And what doesn't change is the tzaddik. So it's me. I'm going to now determine what happens. It's going to be the tzaddik. What do you say?
It's like the kid that does something bad, something terrible, and the father, instead of punishing him, he's just ignoring him, which is like somewhat much more terrible. Like, you don't care for me, like, I just ignore you.
Right, it's very interesting. I was also thinking about kids. I was thinking about what I learned from Dr. Russell. He says that normal with children also you have to have expectations. Sometimes you withdraw from them, opportunities if they don't behave themselves. Except when the kid is like totally not listening, and he's totally out of the system, right? So then you give up. Stop making word and punishment because it doesn't work anyway. That's what he says about child rearing. Russell, it's brilliant, so brilliant. People keep trying to do it. The kid doesn't listen anymore. You keep making more punishments, doesn't help. So you have to start over and create the bond anew. So that's what's happening over here also. When they're out of the system, we have to recreate the bond. So Eliyahu was doing that by showing you there's something called a tzaddik, and we're going to bring you back to Amunah like that through the tzaddik. That's what it seems like. Okay. That's what the Chassidim did also. That's what the Chassidish did there. The Baal Shem Tov is Talmidim. The people were very discouraged. There was all kinds of pogroms and discouragement and lack of education among the simple people. And Baal Shem Tov and his Talmidim said, now there's a tzaddik. A tzaddik's going to help you connect to the tzaddik, and that's going to bring you back to Amunah. We're going to be mitchazek to the tzaddik. So Eliyahu was like a rebbe like that. That's interesting. Okay. Vidbar Hashem elav lemor. Kum lech tzarfata asher Sidon. Yeshavta sham hinei tziviti sham isha almana l'kal kolecha. Okay, I'm going to tell you the kids what the mom says. We work on it more to understand it well, but he says like this. Through Eliyahu, the shefa of Parnasa was stopped. So that applied to him as well. Now the river dries out, so Eliyahu now has no kind of source of Parnasa also. So it sounds like the Malbim says it's not going to work two different ways. One for the nation, one for him. So therefore, it needs a way to give Parnasa to Eliyahu. So how does he do it? You go to the Isha in Chutz La'aretz, in Sidon, and she's a tzedekis. And through her, she'll feed you. Because, somehow. If you come, I guess it's outside of Eretz Yisrael, and she has her own merits. So therefore, it's going to come through her, your parnas. V'yakam v'yelech tzarfata, v'yavo el petach ha'ir, v'nei sham isha almana mikosheshet eitzim. V'ka eleya v'yomar, k'china li madmaim b'kli v'shteh. Shem tells him, go to find the isha over there, and he found her. And she was out gathering wood. He realized that was her. He says, bring me wine, bring me water. Okay, Esau was her, she's going to get water. He says, bring me bread also. Tomer chai Hashem elokecha, im yeshi ma'ok, ki im molo kaf kemach, bakad umat shemen v'tzapachat, v'neni mekosheshet shnayim eitzim, ubati vasitihu li livni v'chalnuhu v'matnu. So he said like this. So she said back, listen, all I have is one piece of cake, a ma'og, like a uga, and a jar of oil, a jar of flour, and a little bit of oil in a container, and I'm gathering wood, two pieces of wood, and I'm going to make it for myself and my son, and we're going to eat it and we're going to die because there's nothing coming down for us also. So I'm not sure what I said. I'm not sure I'm right with what I said before. There's outside of Eretz Yisrael help, but I don't know. There's also the famine here. Yomer eleha Eliyahu al teri boi asi kidvarech achasili misham uga ketana rishona votzeit li valach livnech tasi bachrona. So he says to her, okay, I'll tell you what to do. Don't be afraid. Do like I said. Make me an uga. Make me an uga from there, from the little dough that you have left, the flour you have left, and first take out for me a little bit of the dough. And for yourself and your son, you do afterwards. Okay, so the Malbim has all these cheshbonos. How Eliyahu is doing the Nisim. So it's following all this, Chokma Eloki. Kiko Mar Hashem Elokei Yisrael, Kada Kemach Lo Tichla, Tzapachet Hashem Lo Techzar, Ad Yom Tate Hashem Geshem Al Pnei Adamah. So he said, this is what Hashem says: the Kada Kemach will not run out, and the bottle of oil won't lacking till Hashem brings down water. So you'll have this miraculous parnasa till you don't need it anymore. Shelach v'tas gedvar Eliyahu v'tochal he v'hu ubeita yamim, and the nates came down from her, and through her it came to him as well, to Eliyahu as well.
So interesting. Like, first Hashem says to him, okay, go to this woman in the north, and then she will sustain you. Yeah. He comes there, and she has nothing left.
And he does
miracles
for her,
and
and through her, and that comes to him also. Yeah. All right. So the Malbim has a whole shmooze about how that works, because really he stopped the parnasa; it's not coming down anymore for anybody. But somehow through this, he's able to make his loophole over here. Okay. Via chedvar me'ela. Chala ben Aisha bal dabayit v'hi chalyo chazak ma'od. Adasher lo notra bo neshama. Then after that, what happens is the son got really sick, and he was like on his deathbed. V'tomer el Eliyahu, mali v'lach ish Elokim, bate elai laskir et avoni v'lamit et bani. So the woman, Sarfatit, she was confused. Because first you see Eliyahu comes, he does miracles in order to support them, and then all of a sudden Hashem brings down a disease to kill him. So what's going on here? She doesn't understand the hashgacha. Who is this person that came to do this? So she thinks he did like Kabbalah things, and Shemot, or maybe Kishuf, and he did things like miracles, and she felt maybe she wasn't fitting for such a miracle, and so it brought down the notice. Because the Gemara says, he brings this Gemara, that when a person gets a miracle, it's like from Shemaim they say, who are you to get a miracle? So now you have to you're sort of, it takes away your merits sort of, or you could be bezakana. So that's what she felt.
She's saying that she's a sinner?
No, she's accusing him. She's accusing Eliyahu. She said, she says, I'm not fitting to get a miracle, and you came and you made miracles for me, and now because of that, Hashem is judging us, and the son is dying. That's what he says. Needs more explanation.
Too holy for us, and now we're being judged because you're holier than we are.
That's a different thing. That's a different Gemara. That comes later with Elisha. But that's not the pshat here. The pshat is that when a person gets a miracle, you don't want you want to live not with miracles. And it's complicated because you see miracles are good, they're not good. I don't know. She was afraid that the miracle took away her merits. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow or next week also. Probably not. Okay, whatever. We're going to be 3 parshas further. Anyway, so we're touching on this. Yomi Aleha Tnili et Benech Tikacheu Nicheka Yaleo al Aliyah Shehu Yoshev Sham Yashkaveo al Mitato. Just give me the yell. She took him and she brought him into his Aliyah. He brought him to his Aliyah. Put him on the bed. As if to say, Mom says it means as if I'm dead. I'm going to put him on the bed. My bed. As if I'm dead. I feel so much sorrow. If you cry El Hashem, Yomer Hashem Elokei Hashem Elokai Gam Almana Sharni Mitgorer Ima Hariyota Lamit et Panah. So Hashem also on this Isha, what I'm dwelling here, you're going to cause her son to die. Yidmodan al Yel Shlosh Pamim Bikra El Hashem Yomer Hashem Elokai Hashavna Nefesh Yel Razeh El Kirbo. So he put the Yel on the bed and he laid down on the Yel for 3 times, and then he davened. So again, the Malbim says Kabbalah things. He says like this. He says there's 3 types of nefesh in a person. There's the nefesh. One second, let me read this. That there's 3 vessels through which the nefesh comes down. There's nefesh ativit, nefesh chiyunit, v'amedabrit. So there's the natural soul. There's the sustaining soul. 2 types of soul. What's the difference? I somehow think, I'm not sure. And there's the nefesh hamedaberet. It's 3 levels of the soul. And so he laid down on the boy 3 times, to bring back these 3 levels of the soul. I was able to do that. But he says the Ruach, the divine spirit, the net neshama, he couldn't bring that in. So and that's when he davened. Then he says, Hashem, I'm asking for a miracle to bring in the neshama. Shekol echad yesh lo kelim yuchadim, etc. L'shiva ruach zeh ein bicholot yad adam. Rak biyada noten neshama levado. To bring in the neshama, no person could do that. Only Hashem could do that. V'alzeh karal Hashem shetashev nefesh yelad el kibur. That's why I call it to Hashem. By the way, Rabbi Nach says that the Nevi'im did miracles. They always did it through tefillah, which is very interesting. I need an explanation why tefillah is the key, but you see it here. The first part was sort of like Kabbalah stuff, was not exactly a miracle, bringing in the nefesh. But being the neshama, you can't do that. Or not such a miracle. The neshama, no one could do that except Hashem. So David Hashem did that. Okay, Vikach Yishma Hashem b'kol Eliyahu v'tashav nefesh yelad el kirbo v'echi. So the yelad came to life. Vikach Eliyahu et yelad v'yideu min aliyah habayiti v'yitneu limo v'yomer Eliyahu ri chai b'nei. He brought down the yelad and said, your boy's alive. Tomer Isha Eliyahu ata ze yadata ki ish Elokim ata Yvar Hashem b'ficha emet. Now I see it's all emet. Okay.